Detroit, baby, we out here. You see what's going on. We activated. We ain't playing no game.
All right, let's get it, man. Let's get it. Dog face, man. What's going on, my brother?
What's the
How
word?
you doing, man?
I feel beautiful, brother. How you feel?
Man, I feel blessed, brother. I ain't gonna lie, you looking good too with all that with all that ice on. You feel me?
It's just trappings, brother. It's trappings.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Well, it's definitely a pleasure and an honor.
It's my honor to be here. I'm happy to be here, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. So, without further ado, man, we're gonna go ahead and jump right in, man. We're gonna get to the origin, a dog face. You feel me?
Okay.
We're gonna get to the genesis.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I got you.
What was you born and what was your upbringing, bro?
Where was I born?
Yeah,
I was born in Pontiac, Michigan. And I moved to Detroit 1987. I was 15. I was 15 when I moved to Detroit.
Yes, sir. How would you describe your upbringing? You said you was 15 when you moved to Detroit.
Yeah, I was 15. Yeah, I was 15.
How would you explain life in Pontiac before you came to the D?
Well, it's like two sides to this thing. It's prior to my parents getting divorced, and it's after. Prior to my parents getting divorced, life was like heaven. After the divorce, it was only popping. You hear me? Because I stayed with my mom. My older brothers moved with my father down back to Alabama, which is where my parents are both originally from. We just migrated to Pontiac. When they got divorced, my father moved back down to Alabama, and I stayed up here with my mom. So, single motherhood with a young black son in the ghetto, it was on the popping, bro. It was up there. You hear me?
Sure.
I had to learn everything all over again because I was used to being with both my parents. And then when the divorce happened, the change happened suddenly. It was like going from from day to night, like in one day. That's how drastically our circumstances changed after the divorce.
Did you have siblings?
Yeah, my mother had 4 children. I'm the youngest of 4. So it was just me by myself, and I wasn't prepared to be by myself at 8. I was 8 when they got divorced.
So if you could, how would you describe your relationship with your father? You know what I mean? Because that's very important, especially with you speaking on how drastically how things changed drastically after he, you know what I mean, went back.
I didn't have one. I didn't have one after the divorce. When he moved back down south, I didn't have a relationship with him. It's kind of like when they separated, my relationship with him ended. I didn't really have any communications with him except when he would come back up here to see my grandmother, his mother. I would find out that he was here through the grapevine. Okay. We didn't have any communication whatsoever. I think he was mad because I chose to stay with my mom versus going with him. So we didn't have any communication. And I used to wonder why at that point in time, I couldn't fathom why, and I didn't understand. As a child, you don't understand. All you know is what you know. All you know is what you're experiencing at that particular point in time. And, I never asked him as I grew older. I never asked him why. I used to wonder why. But I'm a Cancer, so I'm more cerebral than anything else. My astrological sign is I'm a Cancer. And so I don't have to ask why. I just know it is what it is. And I just operated off what I had to deal with. And that's just being with my mama and just growing up with myself.
For sure.
Yeah.
What about your relationship with your siblings?
After they got divorced, my oldest brother had got some trouble. He was in the training school when the separation occurred. My 2 middle brothers moved to Alabama with my father, and I stayed with my mom. The relationship was like phone calls, conversations over the phone. I think I went down south like once or twice to stay with him, maybe once. And they stayed in a rural part of Alabama, Phoenix City, Alabama. I went down there once, and I'm spoiled, bro. We go down there, you can't drink nothing while you eating. Right. You hear me? Pancakes thick as hell.
Culture.
Right, it's a chicken farm type shit. My grandfather owned farm land in Phoenix City or Lee County, Alabama. Like on one side of the street, you be in Phoenix City. On the other side of the street, you be in Columbus, Georgia. So that's the proximity to the Georgia line that we were. And it lived on the farm, bro. I wasn't with that farm shit.
You say at all.
Hell no, because I'm used to pancakes. I'm used to pouring syrup all on my shit. Down there, wasn't none of that. They poured the syrup in the pancake, and the pancake absorbed the syrup, and it wasn't no wasteful syrup pouring down there and shit. You hear me? Wasn't no doing what the fuck you wanted to do. So you go out and feed the chickens and shit like that. I wasn't I couldn't wait to get the fuck off back down there.
Yes,
You hear
sir.
me? I'm a city sucker. I ain't with the farm shit. You hear me?
I know that's right. So what about that transition going to Detroit? So, you know, when y'all,
I was already up there. It wasn't no y'all, it was me. You know what I'm saying? With my mama, it was me. I went to Detroit. I went to the east side of Detroit. And it was like my god brother is from Detroit. So that's how I got down there, you hear me? So when I landed on the east side, Van Dyke and Harper area, Badger, Peter Hunt,
Trenches.
Nodale, Woodline, Fisher. It was up there.
How
You hear
old
me?
was you?
15.
Oh, 50 years.
Yeah,
Okay.
15. It's 1987.
Okay.
Beginning of March of 87. I hadn't even turned 15 yet. I was still 14. I didn't turn 15 until July.
Was because you know in the 80s I believe I think
Crack.
YBI,
It was on the floor.
Tony Down, Earl Flynn,
Everything.
all of that.
Flynn was gone.
Okay.
Bowery Bishops was gone. That's so it was like the Van Dyke hood was the first hood that I was exposed to in the city of Detroit. So that is Bishop, Bowery Bishop hood and Chain Gang hood.
Gotcha.
One side of Van Dyke you had the Bishops, other side you had Chain. So it's UBQ side, Townsend, Helen side. That was a different world. I was on the other side. I was on Astro, Peter Hunt, Nodale, Pressler, Kurt, Badger hood on that side. So I came down here with crackers on the floor. It was on the popping, you hear me? So it was everything from everybody, all the legends were still alive for the most part. It was Best Friends, YBI, but in that hood, it wasn't no YBI over there. You know what I'm saying? YBI, was like a citywide clique, but it's really like a west side clique, you hear me? Over there, you had everybody from the Curry Boys, Chambers, Maserati Rick, Demetrius Holloway. Best Friends ran the east side.
Got you.
When I came down. And then you had MacTown 2020, the Brew Crew, Brooks and all them boys. But it was Curry's, Chambers, Best Friends, Maserati Rick. That's who ran. The Best Friends ran the east side, bro. Period.
Got you. So what was your introduction to the streets like and during that time when you came to the east side of Detroit, Van Dyke area?
I came down straight selling crack and heroin off bail. Yeah. I was spot working, you hear me? I was spot working off bail. That's why I came down. You know what I'm saying? My mother started using drugs, bro. I think I was 12. And so me migrating to Detroit was just me migrating to somewhere where I thought I could make some money. So that's why I came down here. My god brother was already in the street. My god brother learned how to cook crack when he was 3. You know what I'm saying? So I came to no bullshit. My god brother grew up cooking crack and chefing that shit, right? So when I came down to the city, I came right down to a crack spot off bail, Badger, and motherfucking Irwin. It was in that hood right there. You hear me? Van Dyke Harper area. You hear me? So I came down. We was cooking crack off bail.
So that gotta be a hell of an experience.
It was a culture shock.
Being that, yeah. Talk about it. Because
I'm from the hood up in Pontiac. I'm from the east side of Pontiac, but I wasn't in the streets. When I came out of Detroit, I was automatically thrust right in the middle of everything. And so, I was like a deer in headlights at first, but I had already been to the youth home a couple of times and shit. So I already knew how to maneuver. Shut the fuck up, keep your mouth shut. Right. Just watch. You can always learn. You stay alive faster in the hood, in the ghetto, if you shut the fuck up and just use your eyes.
Big facts.
Use your eyes and use your ears and just shut the fuck up. So I was like a fish out of water already because I wasn't from Detroit. So when I came to Detroit, all I knew was what I heard about it. You know what I'm saying? It was all bad. Wasn't nothing never positive about the shit. So when I came down, I literally survived by listening and watching and observing. Talking.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't do no motherfucking talking whatsoever. You hear me? 'Cause I'm right in the middle of crack central. You feel me?
Got you.
So when I came down, jumped right in the crew. I started off in the spot like most motherfuckers do. You hear me? Rolling out the spot. And then it didn't take me long to graduate to becoming a lieutenant. Because back then you had different levels of being in the drug crew.
You say it was way more organized than what you see right now.
No, it ain't. It was organized crime at its finest. You hear me? I graduated from, I think I was in the spot maybe like less than 90 days. And then the person who was like the lieutenant of the crew, at that particular point in time, he drew a liking to me because I was like quiet. I wasn't talking. I was always serious. You know what I'm saying? That was just based on the circumstance. You know what I'm saying? I never let my hair down. Whereas the other guys who were in my crew, because it was a crew, like 8, 9 of us operating, you know what I'm saying, in that hood and in several other hoods on the east side and in Highland Park as well. I wasn't doing no motherfucking talking. And so he just liked how I did what I did. You know what I'm saying? I was always serious. My shit was never short. You know what I'm saying? Doing my shift.
Always right.
Yeah, tape was all right. You hear me? Because if it wasn't right, it was punishment. You know, meted out if it wasn't right. You hear me?
Absolutely.
Now I wasn't with nobody putting their hands on me.
No,
so I made sure my shit was right. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes,
That's
sir.
how it was.